हाय। आज एपिसोड 18 में लॉकडाउन की सीरियसनेस से आते हैं बाहर और थोड़ा हंसते हैं। Today's episode is about the very filmy love story of Siddhi and Akshay. We'll talk about what they have learned over the years and what's the most important aspect of marriage according to them. This couple runs a first of its kind community for married couples and it's called That Husband Stuff. So continue what you're doing and join us on this Nok Jok wala chat session. Oh, and before that, please subscribe to Little Fixes on your podcast app and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Little Fixes Podcast. Welcome to Little Fixes Podcast. Raw, real, and super fun chats with wonderful people. We discuss valuable ideas and provide guidance to enrich your life. Join us for relatable stories and practical tips for personal development. चाहे वो आपका करियर हो या फिटनेस, सोशल मीडिया ग्रोथ, फैमिली, सेल्फ केयर और भी बहुत कुछ. This is Matri, celebrity stalker and your host. Hi Siddhi, hi Akshay. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Maitri.
Hi, Maitri.
So today we have That Husband Stuff with us, Siddhi and Akshay, the faces behind the very popular account That Husband Stuff. So let's know a little about them from them.
First of all, thank you for having us on the show, and usse zyada for showering us with so much of love. We're working really hard to become as popular as you just mentioned. But again, there's a lot of hard work that goes in, dealing with personal experiences, jo ho raha hai, bringing it out in open, sensitive topics like how the husband sits on the pot playing his games because the wife doesn't allow him to play games otherwise. So yeah, bringing out such topics out in open.
नहीं, इट्स रियली इंटरेस्टिंग बिकॉज ऐसा कोई अकाउंट एटलीस्ट इंडिया में आई थिंक नहीं था, तो आप लोगों ने एक गैप फिल कर दिया है.
In fact, you will not believe it. Even we were not aware कि ऐसे accounts होते हैं, about relationships. We knew that there are pages which are, sharing quotes or, love stories and etc. etc. But we had no idea. And once we started following a lot of hashtags is when we realized that there are other accounts as well who are, in this genre. And initially we were very apprehensive कि ऐसा ये account चलेगा कि नहीं चलेगा, which is why we didn't reveal who we were. We were posting, anonymously. That's when Siddhi told me कि boss मेरा birthday है. I think it's a good time to, come out and open and, just make a good reveal. I mean, that would also, get us enough popularities, a few shout outs, followers, etc. etc. And, that's how we are here today.
यस, वो होता है. पता है स्टार्टिंग में जब आई स्टार्टेड माई पेज व्हेन आई वाज कॉल्ड द रिलक्टेंट मॉम, तब मैंने भी यही किया था कि आई विल पोस्ट कोट्स और इधायास पिक्चर्स. आई डिडंट वांट टू शो माय फेस कि लोग मजाक उड़ाएंगे या बोलेंगे यार ये क्या बोल रही है, क्या कर रही है. तो आई वाज वेरी अप्रीहेंसिव बट thankfully I got over it, I think in a week or two, and I came out in open.
It took us almost 4 months.
हाँ, it was quite a suspense कि ये है कौन that husband stuff. सही में
I mean, I
husband
don't think
wife है
even
कि
you
कोई
knew,
और
right?
है.
There were some people who thought we are some celebrities who are also running this account.
अच्छा
We've actually got messages from people, are you some Indian celebrities?
अच्छा.
And we were like, नहीं भाई अभी तक उधर नहीं पहुंचे, but slowly gradually उधर भी पहुंच ही जाएंगे.
हाँ, नहीं पहुंच जाएंगे बिल्कुल. अब तो आपका अकाउंट अच्छा चल रहा है, एवरीबॉडी नोज अबाउट यू, तो बढ़िया है. और इवन देयर आर मेनी पॉडकास्ट अबाउट रिलेशनशिप्स. मे बी यू कैन स्टार्ट वन ऑफ योर ओन कभी.
Yeah, we are hoping that someday, our account actually reaches that place where we try to solve problems in people's life, especially marriages, and कुछ तो अच्छा करें हम लोग. So,
हाँ, नहीं अभी भी जो कर रहे हैं वो भी बहुत अच्छा है, बट यू कैन टेक
Thank
इट
you,
टू द
thank
नेक्स्ट
you so
लेवल.
much.
yeah, sure. We will try and do that someday. In fact, we're trying.
नहीं बस करना क्या है, अपनी स्टोरीज ही शेयर करने लगो ना, फिर भी लोग सुनने लगेंगे कि बिकॉज स्टोरीज आर ऑलवेज इंटरेस्टिंग.
Yeah, and more than interesting, I think it's very intriguing because every couple has every couple under the sun has a story to tell.
यस.
Okay, and those stories, there are certain aspects of those stories which can be very interesting to the common person who is in front of them, and probably will not be able to relate to them if he's not in a marriage. But once he gets into that, married zone, is when he starts understanding कि boss, हाँ ये तो साला मेरे साथ भी हुआ है.
yes. और इवन जो अनमैरिड है ना, उसको भी थोड़ा ज्ञान तो मिल ही जाता है.
हाँ, they know whether to get married or not to get married. बॉस ये सब होने वाला है.
चेतावनी. तो हस्बैंड स्टफ के बारे में थोड़ा सा और बताइए.
So I'll tell you how the concept came up. Okay, we were having certain issues with our married life in the very beginning. Okay, nothing make or break sorts, but there were small issues. Arguments हो रहे थे. We used to get snap at each other कि ऐसा थोड़ी ना होता है relationship में, etc.
वो सब में
And
होता
then
है.
हाँ, exactly. And then we realized कि boss अपन एक दूसरे से सिर्फ बात करके फायदा नहीं है, क्योंकि that builds up a lot of frustration. तो हम लोग ने क्या किया, एक दूसरे के साथ बात करना चालू किया, wherein we identified this, whole concept of bringing sustainability in a relationship. Okay, people talk about sustainability, with terms of the environment, plastic waste, then trees, global warming, etc. But nobody talks about the real and the raw deal that is your marriage. And I'm sure you must have heard, there are so many marriages breaking, there are so many issues happening, people are unhappy, they're together because they have been, they're binded in this sacramental bond. Okay. However, the only solution to this basic problem is communication.
Yes.
Like if Siddhi doesn't like me doing something, and then when she comes and tells me, maybe I'll agree, I'll not disagree, or I'll probably disagree. But at least she's, putting in that effort to come and tell me, ki, boss, I have this issue, and I think we should deal with it together. So that is how we came up with this page, and then we started sharing small thoughts initially, waiting for a response. Ki kya logo ka comment aa raha hai? And we were very lucky that people, without knowing who we were, started responding. And you are one of the very few people who who would comment on all our posts.
Yes, I still do.
Yeah, you still do. Like you're one of. That's what I said. During our 1 year, anniversary that we celebrated, that you're the one regular. You're the one constant who's always been there with us. So that is exactly what the page means. It's a platform. Okay. Initially we were bloggers. Then we decided to create a community out of it, wherein we'll give a chance for everybody to share best practices. Like if you think this thing works for a relationship or this behavior works for a relationship, come and tell us. We are ready to feature you, and we don't have any hiccups or about having other people featured on our page. In fact, you are aware of the new concept that we had started. It's called Two Peas in a Pod.
Yes.
So I think that was something unique again, wherein we wanted people, these bloggers or moms and dads to come out and tell their stories, and probably it helped them remember the the phases that they had been through, and rekindle the whole romance. We are here to educate and empower. We are not motivators or influencers. I'm saying you don't necessarily have to get influenced by what we're saying, but probably just give it a thought. That is what I believe.
हाँ, हर चीज का सॉल्यूशन आपके पास नहीं हो सकता, हर चीज का सॉल्यूशन हमारे पास नहीं हो सकता, बट वी कैन डिस्कस.
एब्सोल्युटली.
और ये इलस्ट्रेशंस कौन बनाता है?
I am the person who does it.
So the graphic ones Siddhi does, the doodling ones I started doing. That is how we started the page, by doodling, and then we realized कि boss थोड़ा page अच्छा हो रहा है. I think it's about time we upgrade our illustrations also. Then Siddhi decided कि चलो now I will. And that also helped me, to actually focus on the content, and Siddhi came in to share the load, and then that's why I, reduced doodling, and she focused more on the illustrations then.
हाँ, नहीं, बहुत सही किया आप लोगों ने, क्योंकि दोनों का कंट्रीब्यूशन भी हो जाता है. आई थिंक इलस्ट्रेशंस बेटर हो गए हैं, और जो कॉन्सेप्ट है ना, उसको लेके आप लोगों में ज्यादा लड़ाई नहीं होगी कि दोनों ने थोड़ा थोड़ा किया है.
Exactly.
No, but the fact is, every post, behind every post, there is a lot of thinking, a lot of research that goes into. All right, and that is something that both of us do. Like, we'll discuss कि चल आज ये topic पे post करना है, then we'll actually sit, introspect कि what is happening in our life. Then we'll read up on it and see what is happening in other, in other zones, other areas, other people. Okay, and that's when we decide कि ठीक है, चलो आज ये content है अपने पास. Now let us proofread it.
चलो हस्बैंड स्टफ से रियल पीपल पे आते हैं. आप दोनों की लव स्टोरी थोड़ी सी बताइए हमें.
So our love story is very dramatic if you go to see. we met each other at a club
Hmm.
where I was with my set of friends and Akshay was with his set of friends.
Hmm.
And suddenly this guy is standing next to me and he's looking at me.
Hmm.
So initially I felt a little weird.
Hmm.
Uske baad then he's like, why do you have so many tattoos on your body? I have 3 tattoos on my body, and one is very, it's very prominent on my hand. So
Hmm.
he's like, what is this?
Hmm.
I'm like, there is a meaning to every tattoo I have, and why do you like? I don't even know you. Why are you coming and commenting on things that I like?
Hmm.
And that is the moment I think he hated my tattoos. He still doesn't like those tattoos. Whenever I tell him that, okay, Akshay, मुझे और एक बनाना है tattoo, he's like, नहीं, you make it at a place where it's not visible and मुझे दिखे नहीं.
So to add to it, okay, I'm not really fond of body art, and I was not even checking her out. I was just intrigued कि was so many tattoos, and ऐसा वो tattoos का बहुत craze आ गया है.
हाँ.
But her tattoos, on the other hand, are really subtle.
अच्छा.
Okay, so I was intrigued कि बस लोग tattoos बनाते हैं, लोग अपने mom dad का नाम लिखते हैं, ex boyfriend. Obviously, tattoos के बाद वो ex boyfriend ही हो जाते हैं. That is, I think, the natural law.
हाँ.
And I was, she had these weird tribal symbols on her body.
Hmm.
And I was really intrigued. And, I think I was staring, I had a drink in my hand, okay, and I was staring, ki, boss, iska kya matlab hoga? And Siddhi looked at me and she's like, what? And I'm like, why do you have so many tattoos on you? I mean, what is the significance?
कुछ
That was my
नहीं.
first ever conversation with her.
मतलब चांस मार रहे थे और टैटू का बहाना था.
नहीं, हाथ में ड्रिंक था, खड़ा था बंदा, टिप्सी था थोड़ा. I'm like, ये कर क्या रहा है यार? So
Okay.
उसके
हाँ.
बाद after this instance, then we added each other on Facebook. I don't know for what reason, and
अच्छा.
we started talking.
Yeah, I took
Hmm.
the initiative of adding her. So we didn't exchange numbers. So we got into a conversation, decent conversation that day, but we didn't exchange numbers.
Hmm.
Okay. And I was already looking for people on Shadi.com, Bharat Matrimonial. My mom was, helping me search for people. In fact, a friend of ours suggested कि boss, you go on Tinder and I'll शायद से उधर मिल जाएगी somebody whom you would want to be with. And तभी सिद्धि and I, so I added Siddhi. She immediately accepted. उसको भी वो love rush हो गया था.
Love rush नहीं हुआ था.
देखो ऐसा रहता था तो उसको इग्नोर कर देता था, but Siddhi accepted the invite promptly.
मैंने बोला अच्छा बंदा था, बात करने में अच्छा था, तो why not? बात कर सकते, दोस्त तो बन ही सकते हैं ना.
हाँ.
मतलब फ्यूचर तो कभी कुछ देखा नहीं था. obviously चलो ऐड कर लेते हैं, बात तो कर लेंगे.
हाँ, ये बिल्कुल सही एटीट्यूड है.
हाँ.
मतलब लड़कों को ही लगता है यार लव रश हो गया.
हाँ, exactly, देखो ना. So उसके बाद then we started talking on Facebook. बात की है बहुत दिन. And so my office is basically, my ex-office was at Lower Parel, and it was on the way for Akshay. So this one fine day, he's like, let's catch up, let's meet for some time. When we met, he's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I'm okay with anything. Then he's like, क्या पिएगी? Coffee पिएगी कि क्या पिएगी? चाय पिएगी? I said चाय पीऊंगी. Then he's like, कहाँ जाना है? Starbucks जाना है तुझे या you're okay with टपरी? I said टपरी. तभी तो इसके मुंह पे जो ग्लो दिखा था, because he was happy. He was like,
Low maintenance.
चलो ठीक है. हाँ, बच गए ना तभी पैसे. After that, then he's like, अच्छा ठीक है, अभी क्या पिएगी? कटिंग पिएगी कि क्वार्टर पिएगी? I'm like, ठीक है, क्वार्टर भी चली जाएगा मतलब.
So I took the risk of actually asking her कि कटिंग पे ये टपरी पे आएगी तो she can probably have a drink also with me. And then मैंने उसको पूछ लिया कि कटिंग की क्वार्टर, and then once she said quarter, I was like, boss set है ये तो बंदी. I think I'm going to marry her only.
यार टपरी पे क्वार्टर मिलता है क्या?
नहीं, so that's why ना उसके बाद में next question आया कि lounge या local bar.
अच्छा.
And guess what she must have said?
No guesses.
I said local bar.
अरे.
Unfortunately, I said local bar.
And we went to this place called Supriya Bar, which is right outside my house. It's at Grant Road Station. And it's a pretty decent bar. It's not, one of those shady ones. And we went over there, we had our drinks, and I had told her category, while ordering, that I'm going to be having masala papad, and I don't like to share my masala papad with anybody. Okay, so मैंने उसको clearly बोल दिया था. And she was like, नहीं मुझे भूख नहीं लगी है, I have to maintain my sugar, I'm dieting, etc.
I didn't
etc.
have to maintain.
Yeah, but that was implied.
हाँ वो इम्प्लाई होता है.
मसाला पापड़ से किसका पता वजन बढ़ गया.
So she didn't call for anything to eat. She just had her drink, and I was having my drink, and then suddenly I can see this hand coming towards the masala papad, and I smacked it. I'm like, no, that is mine. You don't touch my masala papad.
जोई बन गया.
Exactly.
By this time I got irritated. I'm like, ठीक है, चलेगा, no problem. So we completed our drinks. हो गया सब, हम लोग निकल गए बाहर. And so from the local bar to the nearest station, it is hardly like a 2-3 minute walk. I was like, मेरे को लगा यार, I thought he'll come and drop me till like the station, till the platform probably, and wait till I board the train. This guy doesn't want to come drop me. He's like, चलो मैं घर चला. I'm like, अरे, and I was astonished. I'm doing this. I'm like, ठीक है, चलो जाने का हो गया, मैं निकल जाती हूँ. And I actually hated him.
But I still came.
No, you didn't come.
I came, and you scratched me with your nail also while saying a goodbye.
You came. So basically he understood that you should at least drop.
No, I realized that she was irked with my behavior. And I was like,
masala papad thing, and then with this for not coming.
Also, Siddhi missed an important detail. Okay, we actually disliked each other when we sat down and started talking. Finally, she went home, and then for the next couple of months, I think we didn't speak to each other. But sometime around 12th August is when 12th August I just pinged her, and I'm like, Siddhi, एक बार वापस मिलना है क्या करके.
I didn't want to honestly, but then I'm like, let's give it a try.
हाँ, again, Siddhi was free, कुछ करने को नहीं था, दोस्तों के साथ बाहर नहीं जाना था.
Hello, I came to meet you after work.
हाँ, so Siddhi was like, ठीक है. So eventually we met, okay, and this time we went to a proper lounge. And I am telling you, that evening से लेके आज तक there has not been a single day when we have not, where we have not been together.
अच्छा, wow.
That day, I don't know what changed. I think the music, the vibe, or probably our luck. But then तब से we decided कि boss, we got to be together for the rest of our lives. I have set it in my mind. Okay, and I think she was also pretty much.
I was convinced.
She was convinced.
सोचो पहली बार अगर किसी हाई एंड जगह चले जाते तो शायद पहली बार में सेट हो जाता.
हाँ, बट वो हाई एंड जगह पे जाते और सेट नहीं होता तो उधर तो खर्चा बहुत हो जाता था. I'm a चिंदी guy.
नहीं, जरूरी है चिंदी होना. और उसके बाद आप लोगों ने अपनी अपनी प्रोफाइल अपने पेरेंट्स को बता दिया कि you found each other on shadi.com or something.
We couldn't tell them that we met in the club, right? Once we added each other on Facebook, Siddhi would regularly like my pictures, okay, and likewise I would also do the same thing. And my mom noticed this one girl Siddhi likes our photo mein har baar. So she asked me, who is Siddhi karke, and I was like, sahi time aayega tabhi bataunga karke. And then I got her home and I'm like, this is Siddhi. And that was during Ganpati, and then mom found her really pretty and really sensible. She a lot of discussions that happened led to mom thinking कि boss ये अपनी बहू बनने चली है. And Siddhi was also excited. I was super excited. My dad started, fell in love with Siddhi immediately because my sister has been abroad for a very long time. All right, so that void nobody has been able to fill. So Siddhi के आने से probably 30% or 40%, that void has been filled. And I think more than anybody else, my dad is Siddhi's best friend today.
Achha.
I am sure Siddhi would agree with that.
Agree with that.
Wow.
So that happened with Siddhi. She was very well received, and now it was my turn to pass the test. Okay. And Siddhi ने पहले उसके भाई को बोला, and then I think her brother told her mom about me. So they came to meet me, and imagine, you'll not believe it, I had a Tata Nano at that point of time. And I went to pick them up in a Nano.
यार उससे अच्छा तो बाइक से चले जाते.
And my mom found this guy very, very. मुझे कौन आता है लेने के लिए?
जो होगा वही तो लाएगा.
So I had a bigger car also, slightly bigger car, but I was like, नहीं यार, मेरे को तो ये first impression भारी वाला ही करना है, मैं नानो में ही जाऊंगा. So that's when we went for lunch, and I think we had a very good time. And then the next test was meeting her dad. And Siddhi ने उसके dad के बारे में इतना deadly image बना के रखा था कि बॉस उसने रिजेक्ट कर दिया तो मैं कभी शादी नहीं कर सकती तेरे साथ. And this and that, and I was like, oh God, अभी तो मतलब कुछ अलग ही magic करना पड़ेगा. And Diwali ke time I called him to a nice place. I didn't take him to a local bar, so I took him to for fine dining. And he came very humble human being. Probably if I would have taken him to a dhaba, and he would have still not judged me. I actually informed my parents, "Abhi aap log aa jao, so that we can all meet and we can finalize." And that's when Siddhi's, all of us met, and her dad also liked me. Both the families liked each other, and that's when I think everything clicked, and we decided to go ahead with the whole, marriage talks.
फिर तो शादी हो ही गई.
फिर शादी हो ही गई.
नहीं, काफी फिल्मी स्टोरी हो गई. मतलब इतना गुडी गुडी स्टोरी हम लोग को फिल्मों में भी मिलता है यार, रियल लाइफ में तो बहुत कम हो पाता है. तो आप लोग के रिलेशनशिप की डायनामिक्स इज ऑल्सो वेरी वेल नोन. इट्स वेरी इक्वालिटी बेस्ड. मतलब उसमें कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं है कि ये काम आप ही कर सकते हो या ये काम सिद्धि ही कर सकती है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. तो वॉज इट इंटेंशनल शुरू से ही या इट द चेंज केम ग्रेजुअली?
Honestly, I have always been brought up. I have a sister, and there was no segregation between ये लड़की है तो ये करेगी, तू लड़का है तो तू ये करेगा. Alright. बचपन में I had a clear set of activities, that tasks rather, which I had to take care of, and my sister had a couple of tasks which she had to take care of, which is why I have been raised that way, wherein खुद का काम खुद करो. Don't rely on anybody, not even your own parents.
Yes.
Because कल जाके कुछ हो गया उनको, then how will you deal with the world? How will you survive? So I was anyway trained. I was trained to do a lot of things at home. And with Siddhi coming in, for me, the job, from my perspective, for me, the job became easier because now I had somebody to share the load with. All right. Because I still don't believe a lot of men actually think that, it is important for them to participate in activities.
Yes.
All right. Whereas I, on the other hand, thought that it is important for my wife, to participate in my activities, wherein if I am cleaning the bathroom, for example, and I'll be very, honest about it. If I am cleaning the bathroom, then probably she can clean the kitchen. All right. And if I am washing the clothes, she can she can hang them for drying. So these are, small tasks which we do. If she's cooking, then I will immediately start doing the dishes. And this is again one thing that Siddhi hates about me, that I honestly enjoy doing the dishes. I don't know if a lot of men would admit it or even think about it that way. But for me, that's my me time, wherein I get to watch my favorite Netflix show. I'm plugged in onto the headphones.
ये पार्ट मैं अपने
and I'm doing
हस्बैंड
the
को
dishes.
सुनाऊंगी कि सुनो कोई बर्तन धोना पसंद करता है.
So every time I am cooking,
हाँ.
I can see Akshay standing there and washing the vessel. And
अच्छा.
he will not only stand in one place, he
हाँ.
will keep moving because he keeps working out also.
अच्छा.
He's not just standing, say, like one person watching something.
Hmm.
He's moving. He's flowing here and there. And that is his workout time also for him. But it gets annoying at times because every time I go into the kitchen, he's standing there washing the vessel. And it gets very annoying.
नहीं यार, it is romance यार, वो अपनी वाइफ को अकेला नहीं छोड़ना चाहता.
Exactly. She doesn't understand that. She's like, see, I cannot contribute to cooking. Okay, I'm a terrible cook. I'm just started learning. Like, ठीक है चलो, तो I'll come into the kitchen now. I cannot just stand there, idle doing nothing. So like, तेरा ये बर्तन हो गया ना, चल मैं इसको धो के रख देता हूँ.
How annoying. Seriously यार, मुझे सुन के ही अजीब सा लग रहा है. तो अब शादी की बात हो गई, रिलेशनशिप एवरीथिंग हो गया. अब बात आती है बेबीज की. तो बेबीज को लेकर आप लोगों के क्या थॉट्स हैं? बिकॉज इवेंचुअली बात आती ही है, भले हम कितना भी कह लें कि यार बेबीज इज सच अ क्लिशे टॉपिक टू टॉक अबाउट, बट बात तो आती ही है.
Correct. So when we got married, I told Akshay that अभी शादी से लेके 2-3 साल तक के let's not plan for kids. I want to travel. I want to enjoy my life with you. And then probably after 2-3 years we can plan a baby. But right now, while the time is passing, I think let's give it a try. Let's plan something. Obviously not immediately, but yeah, it is going to change our life. I know that. To be very honest, it changes the woman's life in the marriage.
Yes.
And there are a lot of responsibilities that come up. A lot of them actually for the male and the female in the relationship. Because your extra me time that you used to get now will be baby time.
Yes.
आधी नींद तो वैसे भी रात में ही खराब हो जाएगी because the kid will keep getting up like I don't know how many times. Plus, the other part is, a very funny thing is, I keep telling Akshay that, Akshay, both of us are so naughty. Like, we're extremely naughty. And I don't know that kid when he comes, I don't know what it's going to be.
Again, he or a she, we are just generalizing.
So, we're okay with a girl or a boy. But
in fact, on the contrary, I want a girl, Siddhi wants a boy.
Yeah, it's very funny. So, I am not sure what that he or she will be. It's going to be a deadly combination of Akshay and Siddhi.
And she's still going to be an angel. But with the red horns on top of her.
Yeah.
Obviously. Matlab, baby is on the cards, but it will take some time.
I want to delay it by a couple of years because, I've seen Siddhi being tired, coming home late, working really hard. And the reason why I was okay with, her decision of planning it after a couple of years was because probably she started working at a very young age. Immediately after graduation, she, started working for call centers to get an iPhone. She started working for, the smaller agencies, graduated to the bigger ones, at a better position today. And it's just, it's all been a bunch of responsibilities that has been thrown on to her. And whenever I come home, I have fortunately have a 10 to 6 job, better work life balance, which is why probably I'm able to contribute to the house as much as most of the husbands are not able to. I get the chance to at least घर का थोड़ा बहुत जो साफ सफाई रहेगा जो सिद्धि को आके करना पड़ता है, that I take care of. And which is why also she also gets some more time to relax, and primarily we get time with each other then. कुछ नहीं तो भी Netflix तो at least साथ में देख ही लो यार.
Yes.
So that's when I realized I think Siddhi needs more time to actually chill. And I was I tried to think about it wherein Siddhi thinks that she is ready for it, and on the other hand I have my doubts. But then if she is ready to deal with more stress, okay, because it's stressful at the end of the day, raising a kid, आज के तारीख में managing your own lifestyle is a difficult task.
Yes.
So to top it up, or getting one more soul into this life and making sure you're giving them the safety to provide. Okay, that again is a challenge, and I wanted to be sure that Siddhi, she will never feel that I am not able to raise my kid properly. So which is why I've told her that, you take your time, you relax, there is no pressure, okay? And that is one thing we constantly promote is don't get, congested by the societal pressure. You do what you want, you do what you feel is right. And once you're ready, tell me, we will start planning immediately. Yes. But until then, there is no need to rush into things because your parents or my parents are, fortunately, they don't pressurize us. They, once in a while, they keep on, chavi lagate na. तो वैसा बट दे हैव नेवर प्रेशराइज्ड अस कि हम अभी तो मुंह देख के बिना ही जाना पड़ेगा एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट कभी सुनने नहीं पड़ा फॉर्चुनेटली.
तो अब आते हैं वापस मैरिज पे. अब आप हमें ये बताओ कि आपकी मोस्ट सरप्राइजिंग डिस्कवरी क्या रही पोस्ट मैरिज.
I don't know, every day is like a discovery. I get to know new things about Akshay which I didn't know. So everything, like every day is a new discovery. There is no one particular topic that I would like to highlight because you come to know how the person eats, you come to know what he thinks, and then suddenly you come to know about his temper. So these are things that come up like in between. ये तो रोज नहीं होता, but suddenly you come to know. So every day is discovering, a new thing in your marriage. So I wouldn't focus on just one thing.
So I also took my time, honestly, to show all my traits. I was like, एक साथ ही पता लगा तो शायद से हाँ नहीं बोलेगी. So I took some time, and then I was like, ठीक है सिद्धि, अभी मेरे ये चोचले चालू हो गए हैं. सिद्धि कल से मेरे ये चोचले चालू.
वो अभी चलेगा, कई साल चलेगा because हमारी शादी को 9 साल होने वाले हैं. We are still discovering.
So that, exactly, that's the beauty of the relationship, arguments and new discoveries. That's how, ऐसा वो spice होना चाहिए constantly.
नहीं ये होता है यार, सबका अलग अलग होता है, वो अपने को धीरे धीरे पता चलता है. और आई थिंक एकदम सेम होना भी नहीं चाहिए, नहीं तो फिर यार क्या है, एक ही जैसे हो गए ना दोनों, अपने से ही शादी कर लो क्या.
नहीं, but I have a brilliant answer for my most surprising discovery after marriage about Siddhi.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you.
हाँ.
Siddhi, the way I love to do the dishes, Siddhi को कपड़े सुखाना बहुत पसंद है.
अच्छा.
She gets this peace out of it. I'm telling you now, every time, I make a bet with all our friends who come over, कि like Siddhi आके क्या करेगी? Then they're like, अरे वो थक गए रहेगी, वो आके बैठेगी. I'm like, नहीं, सबसे पहले washing machine में आएगी, कपड़े निकालेगी और सुखाने को डालेगी. अरे, she has dried clothes at 1 a.m.
अरे यार.
1 a.m. She's like, अरे यार, ये ऐसा मतलब, I think it's a sense of completeness for her.
So that's like my OCD. अगर
अच्छा.
कपड़े धुले नहीं हो, सुखाए नहीं डाले हो ना, तो I get very annoyed.
And I, on the other hand, for me, every, the undergarments, the t-shirts, the jeans, the trousers, the बाहर का कपड़ा, घर का कपड़ा, दुनिया भर का कपड़ा मेरा साथ में ही धुलता था वॉशिंग मशीन में.
मैं तो अभी भी यार सारे
And
कपड़े एक ही लोड में डाल देती हूँ. कौन बार बार
हाँ,
करेगा?
and so that is when Siddhi comes like, Akshay, why did you wash the clothes today? That is my job. Don't touch it.
कभी जयपुर भी आ जाए.
वो तो मैं आके सिर्फ बर्तन धोने वाला हूँ.
हाँ, आप बर्तन धो देना, सिद्धि कपड़े धो देगी. वाह. Okay, and what's the most important aspect of marriage according to you?
So the most important aspect of a marriage, according to me, is communication. Whenever, whatever you have in your mind, it needs to be conveyed to your partner. But it might be, something positive or anything negative about each other, or anybody. That message has to be delivered, promptly and to the point. So, it is very important that you are able to convey the right message to your partner by telling them what you feel, okay, whether something is right, something is wrong. And it's not about only right or wrong. If some habit of theirs makes you tell them, encourage them to behave in a particular manner which suits the relationship, not individually you or her. But gradually, that whole, being silent for me will build up frustration. And I'm sure it's the same for Siddhi. Right? Or for anybody, problem is people don't talk these days. People talk through messages, people talk through posts, but then कोई really एक दूसरे से आजकल बात ही नहीं कर रहा है. And that is what, we are trying to change through our page. You communicate, you share your feelings, you express, जो relationship खराब हो रहा है उसको वापस repair करो. Educate yourselves, empower yourselves to be the better version of, the husband or the wife that you are.
Very important message, and I think communication हर relationship का सबसे important aspect है, and marriage is no exception.
Absolutely.
तो सब कुछ positive अच्छी बातें हो गई. अब ये बताओ आप लोग कि what are you not very good at? What do you guys fight about? मतलब कभी तो fight होती होगी ना, argument होता होगा.
Oh, we fight almost every day. We argue almost every day. Fortunately, the actual heated झगड़े जो बोलते हैं ना, that happens I think once or twice in a year. Once or twice in a year max, where we literally get frustrated. But we also have this mantra, we make it a point, we don't sleep over any of the fights. Okay, we make it a point कि भले even if I think I am right, or she's right, or basically the situation is wrong, we make it a point that we go hug each other at night. All right, we actually every night Siddhi's head is on my arms, right, on my shoulder rather, and that's how we sleep. That is a routine we follow. There has not been a single night where we've not slept holding each other. Be it for 5 minutes. I think after 5 minutes हम लोग अपने जगह पे चले जाते हैं.
दर्द होने लगता है हाथ में.
नहीं, but we don't take any fights to the next day.
अच्छा.
we क्योंकि क्या फायदा झगड़ा करके when you have to live a life, you have to live together for a lifetime. What's the point of fighting over trivial issues?
Yes.
So I think that is one thing that we've been doing ever since we were in a relationship. झगड़े हो नहीं हो, we made it a point to clear the air before we wake up the next day, and we wake up again smiling at each other, and then hi boo, how are you? And then she'll like, हाँ मैं छोटू बू.
अरे यार, ये बिल्कुल सही फंडा है यार. मेरी तो आदत नहीं है. मेरे से क्या होता है कि किसी चीज पे फ्रस्ट्रेशन हुआ, आई विल नॉट टेल हिम. वो पूछता रहेगा. आई एम लाइक, पता नहीं है क्या?
अरे मैं तो सिद्धि को रात को 3 बजे उठाया. सिद्धि यार, I had to tell you this. I'm sorry to wake you up, but this is one thing I didn't like. And Siddhi like, अक्षय यार सो जा प्लीज, मेरे को कल ऑफिस से.
And for me, sleep is very important. After a tiring day, I really want to get that, आराम वाला sleep. And
Yes.
suddenly at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock ये बंदा मेरे को बोलता है अरे listen ना ये
हाँ.
हो गया, I don't like it. I'm like Akshay, please, not the time right now. I want to sleep. Let me sleep peacefully.
But that is how seriously we take this policy, you know.
Uh-huh.
Because you know what happens otherwise is I will think about it the entire night. Okay, my night will be ruined anyway.
Mm.
And then next day, alag frustration hoga. We'll start giving each other, super cold treatment. And then Siddhi is like, "Do you want to talk properly or not?" And I'll be like, "Everything is fine." And I hate this whole everything is fine wala concept. If it's not fine, accept it. Okay, accept it for yourself. It's not fine. Admit it and tell your partner that it's not fine and needs to be worked upon.
Yes.
I think this activity will solve most of the marriage problems in this. I think in everywhere.
Yes, yes, yes. अंडरस्टैंडिंग अगर अच्छी है यार तो सारे इश्यूज सॉर्ट हो जाते हैं, बट अगर अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है तो फिर कुछ भी किसी भी छोटी सी बात पे यू कैन पिक अ फाइट.
Correct. And that's what happens if you prolong the discussion. That's when people start snapping. That's when people, actually get frustrated with each other. In fact, that latest post has been that, that if you don't talk, if you don't make time to talk to your partner, that frustration is going to kill the relationship. And that is something that cannot be repaired easily. That takes, it takes years and years. And I've seen people suffer, And honestly, the page, I'll tell you the reason why the page was started. All right. We've seen a lot of our friends suffering, okay, in their marriages. मुंह पे कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे अपने partners को, but then once they are, guy gang रहेंगे, and they're like, अरे यार क्या परेशानी है, क्यों शादी की? And I don't think I have ever had the chance to, or I felt the need to ever say कि बहुत शादी करके गलती की. In fact, marriage has been my biggest achievement, and Siddhi is the best trophy I've ever, been blessed with. And I'm sure Siddhi also feels that way.
Yes.
She's teasing me now.
कितने साल हो गए आप लोग की शादी को?
2 साल हो गए. We just completed 2 years in December.
तभी 2 ही साल हुए, अभी रुक जाओ. People will say such negative stuff, ऐसा बोलेंगे आप लोग. अभी 2 साल हुए, अभी हनीमून पीरियड है.
नहीं हम लोग को तो डिसाइडेड है लाइफ टाइम हनीमून मनाना है.
नहीं यार, बेस्ट ऑफ लक विद दैट. अच्छा, तो अब दैट हस्बैंड स्टफ इज डूइंग प्रिटी वेल और आप लोग आते रहते हो नई नई चीज़ों के साथ. अभी कुछ नया भी प्लान कर रहे हो विच इज डिफरेंट और मे बी समथिंग न्यू इज ऑन द कार्ड्स?
I don't know if we are ready to take the next step. Okay, we were actually thinking about getting into merchandising, basically
Acha.
sharing our concepts through probably t-shirts or calendars, diaries. But I think there are a lot more experienced players already out there in the market. So I think for now we are going to be sticking to what we think we do best. That is delivering the right message. Helping people by educating and empowering them with our thoughts, and again focusing on sustainability in our marriage, thus helping others to focus on theirs as well.
Yes. It was so much fun and मुझे बड़ा मज़ा आया कि यार मैरिज के बारे में किसी से डिस्कस किया. लोगों को बहुत मज़ा आएगा ये सब सुन के. और अक्षय एंड सिद्धि, आप लोगों ने इतना सारा टाइम दिया. आई विल हैव टू एडिट अ लॉट, बट थैंक यू सो मच इतना सारा टाइम देने के लिए, इतनी सारी मज़ेदार बातें शेयर करने के लिए.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Honestly, it was great being on your podcast. Again, we got to sit together after so long, Siddhi and I, and have these discussions. Because in the last, I think, couple of months, she's been busy with work. She's been coming home late, and बैठने को chance ही नहीं मिल रहा था. So I had to actually, tell her कि Siddhi आज time पे आना है. We have to sit. We've got a commitment. आज fulfill करना है कुछ भी करके. And then we were so lucky to be there.
How cute are Akshay and Siddhi. Loved this honest conversation, their banter and their dreamy story. Follow them on Instagram at @thathusbandstuff. What was your takeaway from this super fun chat? Tell us on Instagram and Facebook. Talk to you next Wednesday. Bye.